He's cutting some Schluter cutting. Yeah. You know, unfortunately, he didn't use the lighting from the sconces to cut the Schluter. He's doing it outside, but you know. All right, so I'm just building out the plywood bench for the upholstery guy. So we've got the bottom done. We have a 3-inch overhang all the way here because this foam is theoretically going to come out about 3 inches. So we wanted to have that same amount of overhang so your seating area stays the same. So I've got the sides cut, the base cut. So now I just have to cut this back piece. We'll screw it all together, and then this guy can come and get it done. So I think we're getting down to the nitty-gritty stuff now.
This kitchen looks a little bit different now.
Yeah, it sure does. Get that done, and then I took the cabinet out. Do we want to talk about the bathroom cabinet drama? So let's go in there and take a look-see. So as many of you know, I wasn't a fan of that thing. I thought it looked goofy, and I think Matt definitely agreed. So
99% of our viewers also agree.
yeah. So let's say this isn't secret passage, Mike. You can come though. Right. Watch out for that bag, because I know you like to trip. Okay. So we come through here. This is the laundry area, in case you didn't know. All right, so you see that's gone now. So what ended up happening is this stupid thing stuck out too far. I hated it, honestly. We talked about maybe modifying the cabinet, shrinking it down, cutting it depth, so it's like 6 or 8 inches deep. But upon further review of the cabinet, it's doweled and glued and everything else. So trying to take it apart and shallow it up would just probably destroy it. It wouldn't look the same. And then you have to reattach it. You'd have to pin nail it. You'd see that. And it's the sides are glossy, so it just wouldn't look right. So the ultimate decision was made last night. Colette and Adam were over, and we decided to nix the idea altogether. So now the idea is we'll see the little sliver of tile. We'll end up tiling all of this all the way to the ceiling, and then mirror, and then sconces. I think it'll look a lot better. And Adam and Colette decided that Adam gets this drawer, and she gets everything else. And with that being said, she said that was enough. The glass people have to finish the door because it doesn't have a lock set on it. That has to happen. They've got a little bit of detail work. I want them to trim out where it comes to the rough opening where the drywall is. That should be trimmed out in the same metal, the powder coated metal that's there, the aluminum, so it looks right. So they're planning on doing that. They also have to fix the cap on the stairs isn't finished yet either, so they have to come do that. I don't know if they're going to show up today. Matt's going to give them a call.
All right, Mike. Thanks for the update there.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mike. You're welcome for the update. You're going to continue editing, Mike? Wash and talks? Drifting chats. Drifting chats, that's good. You should. Let's try it out. That's it. So now he just has to upholster these pieces. And then what I'll do on this here is I can get to the back side by opening this cabinet, and I can screw the back cushion in to the cabinet, and then this one will tuck under. So he'll probably leave it so only this part's upholstered. Then this plywood can slide under that plywood after we install it. So that's the plan. So I left it a little short up here so we can get this up, get this one in, and screw it together. So what I'm doing is building where that big tub filler valve is on the floor. I'm building a box.
Hold on. This pool is very green behind you.
It's really bad, isn't it? It's really. This is Mike. This is to mimic lake water. Okay. Yeah. It's for more natural.
The scene, it just looks.
It's more natural. Mike. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to go over here?
No, just carry on.
All right. So I'm building a box that goes over that tub filler valve that's on the floor. So I'm building it out of pressure treated 3/4 inch plywood. And then what we'll do is I'll split it down the center. We're putting a hole here, split it down the center like a clamshell to go over that valve. And then Victor, when he comes and do all their other tile work, I'm going to have him tile this so that it looks like part of the floor. Okay. And it'll hide all that business. The outside diameter to cover all the piping, 17 1/4 by 7 1/4. We laid out where our plumbing comes out from the floor. There's a round 2.5 inch, or actually 2 9/16 round diameter pipe that comes out. So I got 2 3/4 inch hole saw, which will give us some clearance. There's where that's going. And then we'll build the rest of the box after this. Be like that. And then we'll build a box straight down. Okay, so there's that one. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, there we go. Okay, 3.5 by 16 and 3/8. And when the tile guy, Victor, does his tile, this just sits down on top of the tile. So that's kind of how it's going to go. And then if they ever need access, he'll tile the two halves separately so they can just come apart, go back together.
All right, I was able to get container store hangers in black. So these are for Colette. These are the ones that Michelle loves because they hold onto your shirt. I don't like wood hangers for me, but like female shirts tend to fall off easier. I don't like this kind of hanger for me because I end up stretching out my necks because I like to just go and pull. So these aren't cheap. I think we bought like $500 worth of hangers from the Container Store. So I don't know exactly how many shirts and things they have to hang. So I think about 280 for Colette, another roughly 300 for Adam. So I think that should cover it. But you're surprised how quickly hangers go when you hang your pants, you hang your shirts, you hang your t-shirts, you hang everything. And so worst case, we'll have some extra. So the plastic, I like the black plastic, but the heavy duty ones, the really thick ones. And many of you sent me some great hanger options. I didn't have time to buy and test for this project, but some people sent me some really cool stuff. So for me personally, I'm gonna buy and try some of the ones you guys had sent me and test out. I don't know, I probably bought a couple dozen different hangers over the years. And I've usually, for me, I've always settled on the thick plastic ones. And then I know Michelle's bought tons of different hangers. She really likes these Container Store ones. So it should work out. I'm gonna do it, we'll probably do Adam's side on our channel, and then I'm gonna have my mom come down. We do this with Kate, we do this with Michelle. My mom and I go in and we dial in and help them throw stuff away because most people aren't very good at discarding stuff. I've already volunteered us to come down here and help Colette get her wardrobe all organized. We'll have her trying stuff on and, testing stuff out and just getting, I think this closet's gonna be big enough where she probably won't have to get rid of a lot of stuff. Don't you wish you had me in your life to come and take care of all this for you? Tonight I'm gonna be shopping for spatulas, cookie sheets, cookware, knives, drawer. I'm gonna go choose, drawers, what drawers we're gonna put things in. So I think the other day when you saw us put all the furniture in, I didn't see any negative comments. It like immediately clicks for people when they start to see it come together. But that's what I've been fighting you all towards. Like, that's where we're headed. This closet will make perfect sense when this is all together. And we get some things where we have to adjust, and you know, choosing where we're putting towel holders and cabinets and things like that. That's how it goes in these projects. You just don't ever get to see that unless you've done your own remodel. And so everybody who's done their own remodel says, oh my gosh, I can't believe how seamless this has gone in comparison to likely how theirs went, which oftentimes sucks. And that came from a lot of planning. And, you know, I think that this project for us, I mean, this is one I do. And I'm technically the one in charge of all this. I'm really pleased with the result. It's really been great. So now the fun part of buying all the cool stuff, putting hangers in, and then figuring out what else we need to finish this thing up. It's gonna be great.
All right, so we have kind of a bit of a project here with doing the downdraft. So as you can see, where the downdraft has to go is a specific dimension off the backside of the cooktop, which is 2 3/8 of an inch from the finished edge of the cooktop to where the opening is supposed to be cut for the downdraft. Well, it intersects with 4 cabinets. So got to cut this out, got to cut the back out of this cabinet. As you can see, I've already laid it out here. It's got to cut from surface of cabinet down 28.5 inches, or 28.25, I should take that back. And then we have to cut through this edge of this cabinet, through the back here, through this back, all the way through. So all this has to come out. And then the downdraft fan, which is on the back of that cabinet, on the back of that downdraft, may or may not fit in this cabinet back here. It may have to go here, which means we have to make these drawers dummy drawers. So I kind of have a feeling that's what's going to happen, because I don't think we have the depth, because we've shortened these cabinets. I don't think we have the depth to put that in that back cabinet there. I'll have to lay that out. But anyway, that's what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to start cutting. So sorry to tell you, it's going to be noisy. Got some tears in my jeans, Mike. Little problem there. It's all right, Mike. I don't mind doing this. It's always a good time when, you know, we're just hanging out, cutting cabinets apart. What?
The jeans need work.
A what?
The jeans, they need work.
I can't hear you, Mike. I have my WABA canceling phones on. Okay. That's it. It's a lot of butcher-ruin to get the downdraft in. Let's see, we're hitting on that thing right there. I got a notch for that too. That's it.
No shifting?
No, it's a tight fit. So what do we have here? We have only 10 inches. That box is bigger than that. Oh, that's not even the right blower we have. Mm-hmm. That's why I see it's got a 90. That white 90 is what I
understand that.
And that's what we're missing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and it looks as though most of this would go in prior to cabinet installation, or we cut the bottom out of the cabinet. Well, then here's what we do. We use this thing. So the question is, how do we get it into this is the problem. Because there's not enough room in here. I mean, the problem is, it's not, I could make this work and duck down into the base of the cabinet and then out if I cut the bottom out. But the problem is, by the time the distance between this and where this charcoal filter has to go, there's not enough depth. And we're calling it. Next project. So here's where we are. We ordered this downdraft, and then we ordered this blower, because originally it was going to, we thought that we could reutilize the ductwork that was in the slab, which is now where you're standing actually. It's under there. So we couldn't do that because cabinets weren't going to cover that. So Matt had ordered this to duct into that, and then when we realized where the cabinet layout wasn't going to work, he ordered this carbon filter that goes in the base of the cabinet and exhausts out the toe kick with this grill, which is why this grill doesn't match that, because this grill is for the other actual piece that we were supposed to have. So long story short, this is the wrong blower if you're using this carbon filter that's supposed to go under the toe kick. What it's supposed to be is a 90-degree, a blower motor that is like a pancake, like about that thick. It bolts to this, these knockouts come out. It bolts to that, 90s down into the base. Then there's a plastic sweeper 90 duct that comes out right into this, and then it goes through this and exhausts out the toe kick. So the problem is that particular blower motor seems to be a European spec thing and you can't get it here. So Matt's gonna call our distributor and see if there's any way we can get that. I don't know. The only other plan would be, Mike, is we hop on a plane to Italy, you and me, we vlog, we go buy the part at an Italian appliance store, and then we come back to the US. So here's the plan. My plan, I just proposed this to Matt, is to take that blower. That blower is meant to exhaust outside, right? Take that blower, put it here on this side, because you can put it on this side. Then turn the ductwork this way, go through the cabinets and out the wall, and duct it straight outside. That way there's no carbon, it goes outside like it's supposed to, and I just have to go through the block. You know, what do you think about that?
I think it's a good plan.
And I was trying not to lose drawers, but what we could do is still put it back here, go through 90 into the bottom of this cabinet, through the bottom of this cabinet and out. We'd lose just 2 drawers, these bottom 2 drawers. And we retain all these though.
Okay, that way.
90 this way.
So we're coming through the back cabinet.
Through this way,
Yeah.
90 and 90 out this wall.
Right, so that back cabinet can still put 2 shelves in and it'll just be...
What we have to do is get Mike to look at footage of this area to see if there was, I don't remember if we had this open or not, to see what's here, if there's wiring or whatever. Like this. So I'll have to poke a hole through here. Let me go get a bit. We'll do that. Yeah. This is plugged in. That's plugged in. There you go. What'd you do?
Held the button, you have to hold down on the light.
Linear actuator working there. It's really...
Oh.
It got lights too, huh?
Yeah. Got some legitness here, people.
Hey, even if we don't duct it, it looks good.
It looks really good. It's kind of slow.
Well, they are. The Thermador ones are slow too. You have to plan ahead. I'm gonna cook tonight.
Kind of tilted forward a little bit. You see that?
Yeah, I know. It did it on its own though. It did it on its own.
That's how high it goes right there?
Yeah, I think there's 3 different heights you can do. Or there's a speed for the fans, maybe.
Probably.
I don't know where fan is.
Oh, geez.
Dude, that moves some air. That's juicy. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Better be cool for how much work it's taking to get this stupid thing in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's off quite a bit. Looks sweet.
Just think about how this place was and now how it is.
Yeah, right into the...
Yeah. Stuff that we all want that we don't have.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? The other option, as I mentioned before, was to go straight through this wall, but we only have about 3.5 inches of clearance from front edge of cabinet to where this wall comes 90s out. Yeah, it has to flip it 90 degrees, so like, or 180, like this is where we need to be, like this, because it needs to go.
Oh, yeah.
It needs to go like right here. And we have an outlet there anyway. So this is the only way it would work. So, and I think it's sketchy putting it in the corner because we can't even put a grill on it or anything. So I think the best thing to do is going to be 90-90. Come on there. And then we can turn the duct this way 90 so it blows that way. So it's not blowing in here, you know, stinking up here. You can turn it because there's no rain going to get in it.
Well, I think we'd be better off just putting a flush grill on it and let it, you know, so that way it wouldn't look like much, like just a grill on here. A speaker grill kind of thing, you know.
Well, they sell louvered grills that the louver's open when it turns on and they shut when it closes. You just need to keep critters out.
But this is for our RO to match. Look at that. I think this is my favorite thing in the whole house. So we're going to have a 5-stage RO system. Ben will explain it when he gets here on Tuesday. But we're going to have underneath the sink. So this will be our sort of 5th hole we'll make for dispensing water. So we're going to have carbon filtration. What I'm looking to do for the house is, you know, so we have water coming here to the ice machine. We're going to have 5-stage RO there. What I would like to do, I'm going to talk to Ben when he gets here, but I want to do a whole home water softening system. So we soften the water coming in. So you go back even further. So if you go out to the pump house, which you saw, what was that, episode 4 or something like that, 5 when I was working on that. I didn't show on camera because he came late at night, but the guy who maintains the well, we did a treatment test. The water coming out of the RO system is actually like a TDS of like 280, 290, something like that. So it's hard-ish water coming to the house with a reasonable city water level TDS. The pH is great, the iron level's great. He changed the RO filters. I was under the impression that the house had bacteria issues, and he's like, no, there's no bacteria, there's no problems, the water's totally drinkable. So what we have coming into the house is a water of a TDS of 290 or something like that. So I want them to be able to take nice, comfy, soft water when they're showering. And then new piping, new faucets and fixtures, so we'll get good flow there. So we have decent water coming in, soften that, filter it, RO it, we're gonna be golden. And so good news is we didn't have to do anything for the RO system out there in the pump house. And all we have to do is do some polishing of the water here, last step, and we got ourselves a good setup. I'm about to make the cabinets a little bit lighter.
It's another day.
More racing modifications.
Very elusive creature.
Almost as elusive as a turtle I almost ran over the other day.
Dude, we did run over one yesterday. Over by that RV.
Oh, on toward Titusville?
No, here. Some flat looking dude, not like that one with stripes on it. It was some.
Did he run over my turtle? The big guy?
No, and it was like, it was like that big around.
Yeah, that was my guy. Had to have been.
We came around that corner because Colette was drifting, so we went the back way, and it was by, where that guy parks, I think that's Donnie's RV. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's gotta be our guy. Yeah.
But it wasn't one of the ones with a big rounded shell. It's like, had this flat shell.
Yeah, he was pretty flat.
He's really flat now.
You going? How fast were you?
Trevor was driving. He wasn't driving fast.
Well, you told me last night, you're like, oh, there's a truck.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
I was like, well, he's dead.
He was like this big around? Seriously?
Yeah.
We have footage of him.
He might have survived because we came back and he was gone.
Oh, well.
Tundi doesn't weigh that much. It's not like the Ford F-350 ran over him.
Still weighs 5,000.
I'm literally drifting sideways and I didn't hit him. You're just moseying around.
Hey, you just leave it to the Figueres. We'll mow right over him. Oh, Mike, I'm tired of explaining to you. So obviously this is way up too high. We don't want to have to eliminate too many drawers on this other side. So I want the ductwork to be low profile, down low at the base of the cabinets. Turn here, turn there, and turn out. So what I'm doing is, first things first, we got to get the ductwork low. So we're going to do an offset. So essentially 290s back to back. It's about the height, so it'll end up putting us right about there as far as height goes. So I've got a mark here, get our center side to side, our center top to bottom. Try to use this Milwaukee to drill a 6-inch with a 6-inch hole saw and not jerk my wrists off my arms. So anyway, that's the plan. 5 inches, center line of that. Okay, now bring it over here. It's gonna take about an hour.
You think so?
No, but it's gonna be fun. The freaking 6-inch hole saw, it's gonna wanna grab like crazy. All right. Some coasters for you, Mike.
Oh, nice.
It's high end there. Put this on the outside. See how that works, Mike?
All right, so what are you doing right now?
I am cutting a section of this out 9 inches long to adapt those to offset the 90s to tie into the exhaust fan. That looks pretty good. Nice and straight.
That's good.
Remember, it's a reference line.
No, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at the fact that your pants are extremely ripped.
Mike, those I have leggings on underneath there, buddy. No, they're not leggings.
Tights.
My Calvin Klein's, Mike.
This is looking serious. I like it.
There we go. The little level, Trevor. Be all right, Mike. Just bleeding all over Adam's cat. All right, so I've got all the holes in the cabinets done. Got the ductwork run all the way to here. The last thing I need to do, I put this hole in, so we have this 90. So we got, I wouldn't say lucky, because we looked at video footage to make sure there wasn't any electrical running out of that straight down in here. So we got the hole through the cabinets, through the drywall, through the furring strip. That's our foam insulation board. So what I'm gonna do right now is just poke a hole through it with this long 3/16 bit right where that pilot is, and then we'll be able to see where it goes outside, and then we can lay out for our hole outside, because we want to make a much smaller hole outside. We don't want a 6-inch hole outside. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. Furthermore, all right, we're through. We need to be 2.5 inches away from the wall.
It's going to be a slightly round, roughly round hole.
Yeah, the grill will cover a lot of the outer roundness.
The squareness.
Yeah.
And then we'll just fill the gaps with spray foam.
Actually, we should use a silicone.
Well, it's a lot of planning, replanning, plan again, plan again. It's at least 4 or 5. That's at least the 5th iteration of what we came up with for this stupid downdraft.
Yeah, but this is the only way I could think of to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, the lack of the Italian option for the toe kick version.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'd rather have it exhaust outside anyway, ideally.
Sure.
So, you know, we're fortunate that they have so much cabinet space. We don't have to worry about eating these these two. I can still put shelves in actually on this one.
Yeah.
And I can cut this shelf and put a couple new holes in the back and put a shelf on top of this. And then we can put shelves in this one. So
Yeah.
I think they'll find it. And all in all, they're only going to really lose 2 drawers and a little bit of shelves down here.
Yep. I think it'll be okay.
And the fortunate thing is we saved all the drawers under the cooktop. So tomorrow what we'll do, I am gonna get this cut to length, but I'm not gonna install it yet because I don't want the ductwork in the way. So we'll get that hole cut out tomorrow out of the stucco and the block. It's thick. It's 10 inches thick or so. By the time you get stucco, it's about so 8 inch plus probably an inch of stucco material. So some chipping to do. Hopefully Trevor's back's better tomorrow because I'm gonna have him chipping.
All right, I'm sending Laurel sheet options. They're out shopping right now, so I like these up here. This hotel front gate resort collection. They aren't cheap, but I have to decide what we're gonna do for pots and pans. I really like cutlery and more for ordering this stuff. And so I'm looking at, like La Crusette has some really awesome utensils. These, I like these as well. I use these more than anything, the little silicone set. Then I have to decide what I'm gonna do for, this is my favorite colander from All Clad. I have to decide what we'll do for cookware. For them, a set is fine. Just buy like the most common set. You know, for me, I usually don't buy sets. I buy it individually because I like a lot of stuff in the set I don't freaking want. I want things very specific. So let's see. They don't even have a D3 set on here. So I got some work to do on figuring this stuff out tonight.
Okay, so when we left off yesterday, I had the concrete. Now that was block, but they ended up filling it with concrete. So that was a solid 8 inches thick. So I got it all cut out, as you can see, with the Bosch. So it was a combination of my 1.25 inch drill bit, which is the biggest one I feel comfortable putting in that. Drilled a bunch of holes in it, made it look like Swiss cheese, and then used the spade and the pointed bit to chip out between the holes. There was a couple big pieces that did come out, so that was nice. So anyway, this is all that really has to go through it. So we also have Victor here today to do coffee bar. So all this tile that you see here comes up, goes over to where this ceiling ends, right there, all the way around and down that side. Obviously not where the fridge and freezer go, but up and around. So this will all be that tile. And then that white, not the wavy corduroy, but it's a white, I think it's the one in the pantry. Yeah, it's same as the pantry. It's one with the little lines, stripes in it. So that's going in the rest of the kitchen, all the way down this wall, up and over both windows, or all 3 windows. And then also he's got the master bath to finish, and the pantry to do. So the pantry is this, I think we have that in here now. This lily tile. So this is stuff's expensive. This is the stuff that Britannia had ordered ordered 87 square feet and they sent 87 tiles. So apparently this is one of those tiles that gets sold by the piece. So anyway, this has this brushed brass in every tile. So this is going all here and here. So that'll look cool. So he's got that to do as well. And then let's look at the master bath. Remember we took that cabinet out. So now that the cabinet's out, he's got all this to tile. And then I think I'm gonna talk to Matt, but there's really no reason to have an outlet up there anymore after I spent the evening putting that in a rush. So we'll take that outlet out, disconnect it from here, abandon that circuit altogether, and then he'll just have to replace those center two tiles where the cuts are and go right over that hole. So anyway, carry on with this, and it'd be nice to wrap this up today. All right, so we chipped a little more out, Michael, and I think we're all the way through, and we're flush with the stucco now. So now this is going to go on here. That, and I'll get this measurement, and I'll cut a piece to go in between, get it all screwed together, get it taped, and put a grill on the outside, and then we'll be done. Okay, so all the ductwork's installed, all the joints are screwed and taped. So now I'm gonna go plug it in and turn it on, and we'll see how much air comes out. So we tried it yesterday, and it was quite a bit, so I'm curious to see if anything changed. It shouldn't have. I think the Thermador goes up a little faster than this one. The Thermador made more noise going up. This is silent. And then you notice it comes up like this, and then when it gets to its darn near its full length, it kind of tips forward towards the cooktop. It's pretty cool. There it goes, boom. So now, turn on the fan. Oh yeah, dude, that's a ton of air coming out of there. So now, the plan is, let me get my little grill. The plan is to put this here, like that. I'm gonna seal around that with silicone, vacuum that out, seal around that, inside and out, and then I'll install this, and then we'll check it off the list. Just don't leave this door open because it's gonna shoot right back inside. That's cool. That's pretty impressive. Okay, so that's in. End of that. All installed. Flappers work well. Now all I've got left to do is I'm gonna tie in the electrical, get the cooktop wired in, and the blower needs a receptacle in this cabinet. Yeah, the lights are off because they're doing ISF calibration. Like, this is Matt's department. He's going to handle the labor here. Well, it's calibration. It's Mike calibrating. This is Matt's jam right here.
He loves this.
He loves this. He absolutely does.
It's like tuning your TV.
Even if you can't see the difference, I think for Matt, just knowing that it's been taken care of, it just checks that off the mental list. Like, okay, it's ISF calibrated. Then once the furniture's in, he'll do the direct calibration again, because obviously once the rugs are in, and it changes everything because it absorbs sound. So he'll take care of that.
All right, everybody, I've been talking about this for several weeks now, about the concept of buy a great TV, maximize the performance. And so there's something called ISF calibration. Image Science Foundation is what it stands for. You can go to the Image Science Foundation website, just Google it, and go to the website, and you can find somebody in your area. I would suggest that you look for someone that's a high-level calibrator. And my friend John's done all my TVs. Him and my other friend Jason Dustle, you've seen on the channel before. But every time I buy a display, especially if it's critical, something I'm watching a lot or watching regularly, I always have John come and calibrate it. So he's going to show you, we're going to tell you why and talk to you about best practices. He'll give you a little input on what TVs you might want to consider. And so he's getting set up here, and we're going to dig into getting Adam's TV calibrated. I have a little over 100 hours on it. So I've been, making sure to play it every day for 10, 12 hours. So he's going to take us through what he's doing, why he's doing it, why you might want to consider it. I talked him into it. I'm like, you got to go all the way to Swamp. It's like 2.5 hours away. He's like, I don't know about that. So I talked him into it. I said, John, I need you. We need you on this project. We need to teach people why you would do this. You know, why would you, TVs are great. They're beautiful. It looks great right out of the box. Why do I need to do this?
Right. So the calibration is a process where we use specialized software and specialized hardware. They're like cameras, so to speak. They're meters that are like cameras. And basically what we're trying to do is get the TV to produce a reference picture. And that reference is what they use when they make the movies in Hollywood. So when you have a TV that's calibrated, like this one can be calibrated to near reference, whatever the director's intent was, that's what you'll see on this TV.
Got it. That's what I want.
Yeah, and that's what you want. And not every TV you can do this with. Most of the premium TVs, like the LG, the Sony, and the higher-end Samsungs, you can do this type of calibration on. You can calibrate almost any TV, but these have the most robust controls that allow you to get a reference picture.
Well, let's let you get to work.
Yeah.
And we'll try to show people how it's done. And then we'll ask John what are the best TVs while he's working. Yeah. That's what we'll figure out.
Just making sure that the colorimeter is centered on the screen. And what we're going to do now is check to see what the calibration looks like right out from the factory. And I'm using filmmaker mode, SDR. And what we're seeing here is, although the white point is pretty close to D65, the set's pushing red, it's pushing blue, and it's slightly over-tracking. The red is a little oversaturated, where the blue is not too bad, green's not too bad. So we're going to be making adjustments to make this track properly, and then change and adjust the grayscale so that the luminance, that the red, green, and blue gains are consistent over the entire luminance range.
I tell the people I got everything ordered. Got all the kitchen utensils and pots and pans. I'll show you a full breakdown when it arrives. So, mid to late next week, everything will be rolling in. I'll show it to you. It's gonna be good.
So just so people know, we're trying a new mic. So if I sound different, it's because I have a little clipped-on version here.
Yeah, your levels seem kind of high. Let me turn you down.
I wasn't even talking loudly either. All right.
Chill it out.
We good?
Yeah.
All right. So just want to get you up to date on what we're doing with the cooktop. Cooktop is actually installed, the way it's going. And what I did was, because we want to keep these drawers in play, I pinned the conduit up against the back side. I used the screws that we were using for this blank panel. I poured through for incoming power. So now we have our 240 volt, 40 amp service that's going into this back cabinet where the blower is. So everything's going to be junctioned in that back cabinet. The 120 volt for the blower, the 240 volt for the cooktop will all be back there. So let's walk around there, I'll show you that. So, and the reason I did that is because we want to keep these drawers in play, because obviously they're going to be storing pots and pans in here. To eliminate these drawers would suck. So I modified all the shelves so these now work. So I had to notch this shelf, cut them down, because remember these cabinets were shortened. So I cut the shelves down, notch for the cooktop there. And then this shelf, I was able to get still one shelf above this by cutting the back side of the shelf. And then this one here, we even did shelves here. And I cut around the ductwork so they can still use these two. And then we only really lost one shelf, which is right here. And this is, so what I'm going to do is put a junction box here for incoming power, put a plug in the top of it for 120 volt, tie all this together for the 240 for the cooktop, and then this unit
which is the brains, I guess you could say, is getting mounted here. So it'll be pretty clean when I'm done. So that's what I'm going to do next. You know, just put a little thought into it.
A little modification.
It's a little minor modification. You know,
How's that tile wall coming together?
it's looking really good. But I mean, naturally it's Victor, so it's going to be good.
Good job.
He does good work. He's just steady, and he's a perfectionist, which I really like.
I like the Schluter on the edge here, Mike. You notice that?
Yeah, it does have some nice Schluter.
Schluter.
Yeah.
And it has
Custom.
a sconce in here.
That's correct. It does have a sconce. Yeah, this is a moving sconce too. Schluter and sconce. Yeah. So it's complete. You can check it completely off the list. All the ductwork is done, and the electrical is taken care of. So this is the junction box for the 40 amp service that feeds the cooktop, and it also is a feed through to this 20 amp for the downdraft. So that's complete. We maintain most of our shelving. So I'm gonna have Trevor clip the doors back in, and it's done, thankfully. This was probably the most difficult appliance to install. So now everything else is downhill.
Yeah, full drawer functionality here.
Yep.
These are the most useful drawers. This is where you want.
Yep.
I still.
What?
I may do pots and pans this way. I'm not sure. I think maybe I would want to pull my pots and pans like stand in front of here, but I do want to have.
I don't know. It makes sense to have the pots and pans right underneath it, and then all the spatulas and whisks and everything in that drawer.
So we're all done, and the 3D LUT came out great. This is HDR.
These displays are pretty wild.
Isn't that well?
And this is like a decent one,
Yeah.
you know? It gets even better. Looks like you're looking out the window.
So the G3 would have been a little brighter, but this is still pretty bright.
So your favorite display is a Sony 895,
No, A95L. But the
Yeah.
G3 is also very good.
and this is a C383.
Yeah. You can almost taste it.
So we're gonna leave it in. This is what I want to set up for him, for Adam.
It'll
leave
just
it on, leave it on the
automatically.
daylight mode
Yeah.
all the time. It'll
And
be
then
great.
HDR and Dolby Vision will come right up on its own. Yep.
So to do this, $400 to $800, depending on where you're at. You know,
Well,
in the
usually,
country, and
usually it's with the customers that I have. It's usually between $400 and $550 tops. Usually.
but you've been at this for 3.5 hours or so,
Yeah.
4 hours. Tell us about break-in. People don't believe me. They don't believe in that.
Yeah. So what happens is when the TV is put together at the factory, you nearly need to run the TV for at least 100 hours to 150 hours. 150 just to make sure. And the reason is because when the TV is made at the factory, they can't really stress it. They can't really run it. You know what I'm saying? And over time, the first 100, 150 hours, the light changes. The amount of light that the OLED or the LEDs produce it decreases somewhat. And also the electronics break in, and the panel just changes slightly.
Gotcha.
So if you're going to go ahead and calibrate it, you want to wait until this break-in period happens. Usually between 100 and 150 hours. And then at that point, you want to calibrate it.
And you've measured that before.
We've
where
measured it, yeah.
You did a calibration to start right out of the box, and then a calibration and recalibrated at 150 hours, and you notice there's a delta.
Absolutely. And there's many guys who have done all kinds of research doing this. And
It's not snake oil.
yeah.
You know what's wild is that even a couple of years ago, say 2-3 years ago, if I sat this close to the TV, I would see the pixelation,
Right,
even
right.
a calibrated display.
Right.
And now, because the source content is so much better. This is the end of video, right, Mike?
It's an action-packed video.
Okay, so there's a lot going on in this video, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Victor's going to be tiling the kitchen this weekend. He's got his own jobs that he was doing, so he came to do this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hopefully when we get back, he'll be finished. I'm sure he'd like to be. So he'll do the pantry, the laundry room, and that backsplash that now that we moved the cabinet out of the master bath, he's going to tile that to match. This will all be done, and when we get back next week, he's also got this tile to do. So I'll finish up baseboards next week. We'll be installing appliances, probably some maybe some pictures, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But next week will still be a lot of going on.
TV's looking good.
TV looks great. I honestly can't tell the difference, but
It's okay.
I don't know. I didn't sit in front of it. It looked great. I mean, it was a nice TV to begin with, but I'll take his word for it that it's better.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're going to continue on, and we're going to head home.
They're going to install some Schluter, Mike.
They're installing Schluter right now, Mike. As we speak, they are going to put a piece of Schluter all the way up. So anyway, and the railing people will be here Tuesday. Hopefully the cladding people come Monday and finish this piece of clad, so that way the railing people can come Tuesday and finish the whole thing. They got postponed because cladding's not done. Good to go. All right.
All right, Mike.
See you guys next time. Like and subscribe.
They need to do that.
Please,
Otherwise, we're
please.
going to lose our job.
Yeah, for sure you will. You're the videographer. I mean, we don't have any YouTube subscribers. It's not much.
Mike, we're attached, though, because if you think about it, if I'm not making the videos, there's really no need to do anything.
I guess that's true. No need for me to be here either, right?
Matt will just sit at home and watch his ISF TV.
That's true.
His
That's
ISF
true. He can,
calibrated.
yes, properly calibrated his, DIRAC calibrated audio system. There he is. Looking good there.
Any closing remarks?
There's nothing better than a calibrated TV.
That's what I'm looking at different here.
No, I was just joking about that, but no, I mean, it looks great. Jeremy Clarkson looked very old now that you can properly see him.